And we're live. If you've ever had one of those days when you feel like you're just not prepared, this is one of those days for me. It's just been a lot that's been going on, and it took me a while to actually sit down to plan out what I wanted to talk about today. And even after sitting down and writing out a few thoughts, I still feel like I'm not ready and I postponed. Um, I made it a little bit later because I wanted to make sure I got my thoughts together. But you just have those moments when you feel you're just not prepared. But one of the things I always talk about in my live streams is just start, just start, right? Whether you're prepared or not. One of the things I love about some of the people I follow on Facebook and other social media is they set these challenges for themselves, and sometimes it's like a 30-day challenge to do Facebook Lives. Or I know this one girl who's doing like 100 days of Facebook Lives, and I know someone else who's doing an entire year, so 365 days of Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives or whatever the case might be, right? And one of the things I've picked up is that not they don't necessarily always have something planned to talk about. Sometimes they just get on and they let the feed kind of generate the conversation, right? So as I was coming on, I said, man, I really don't feel like I'm prepared today. But I said, you know what? I at least have a couple thoughts written down. So let's just go on, and please join in the conversation. Um, my name is Gina. I'm a complementary therapist practitioner and what I like to call a transformation ambassador. And you're here with another episode of Making Mondays Matter. Today's a little bit later than my previous episodes, and there is a reason. There's a lot that I'm doing right now, so I haven't really set a time for the Mondays. But it'll get, hopefully, in the next few weeks, I'll have a set time that I can come on and I can say, listen, I'm going to be here at 3 o'clock every single Monday. But I appreciate you coming on now anyway, and I do appreciate your time. And even if you're not able to come on and see the live, you can at least have access to the replay, and the replay will always be there. All right, so like I said, today's another episode of Making Mondays Matter, and today we're talking about the power of asking why not, right? In the past, typically you've probably heard about what is your why, right? If you're starting a business, what is your why? Or if you want to do a certain activity, well, why? There's always that why. But today I'm going to challenge you with the question of why not, right? Why not? There's a quote by George Bernard Shaw that I want to share with you. And it goes basically, you see things and you say why, or you ask why. But I dream things that never were, and I say, why not? Right? So that's the question we're going to be asking today. Why not? And if you've seen pretty much any Alice in Wonderland movies, one of the lines that Alice usually says, that she dreams, I think it's like 6 impossible things first thing in the morning, you know. Um, it's either Alice that says it or her dad. I don't remember which. But there is that quote that comes from Alice in Wonderland. I dream 6 impossible things before breakfast, right? So that's the idea. And even with the dreaming impossible things, you might have these great ideas, right? Which is your why. This is what I want to do. I can see this. But then we always have a way of like talking ourselves out of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Well, why not? Why not do this, right? Why not? So let's ask that question. We're going to ask that in addition to the why. And the asking why is part of what we call the Socratic method. Socrates is the one who came up with the whole thing about asking why. So you say something like, I want to eat. Somebody asks you, well, why? Well, because I'm hungry, or because I just have a craving for something. Your why is whatever that response is. But I am going to challenge you to go a little bit deeper than that, right? So you want to start a business. Well, okay, why? So you give me your reason for starting this business. Maybe it's because you see that there's a lack in this particular area, this particular field. Um, Maybe, or for me, I'll tell you, several years ago, I was going to tell the story later on, but I said, let me just go ahead and do it now. Several years ago, when I was first diagnosed with lupus, my doctor looked at me. He said, um, here's a bunch of pills. You're going to be taking these pills for the rest of your life. So I looked at him and I asked him, well, why? Right? Why do I have to take these pills for the rest of my life? And his response was, well, lupus is incurable. You're going to have it for the rest of your life. Like, lupus is incurable? There's no cure for lupus. I said, no. So you're probably going to end up dying from this thing because there's no cure. So my question is, well, why is there no cure? Why is it that I can't heal from lupus? Why do you think that there's no cure? So when he looked at me, I basically said two things. Number one is don't speak negativity over my life. And number two, you say lupus is incurable, and I say, watch me. Right? And that has basically been my last maybe 8, 9 years, is basically the watch me. Okay, this is the why not. Well, why do I have to die from lupus? Why can't I heal my body? And these are the deeper kind of questions that we need to ask when you have your why, and you know that your why is really good, but a lot of the times we kind of shrink back and kind of forget that, okay, you have this great dream, but we forget about the why not. And there are a few questions I'm going to be challenging you with at the end, um, of this little presentation. So asking why is good, but asking why not gets a little bit deeper, and that's what I'm going to challenge you with today. So the quicker you figure out kind of what your why is, um, the better it is for you later on. So if you figure out what your why is, kind of helps you with your career, with life, with just kind of moving on with a deeper understanding of who you really are and what you're placed on this planet Earth to do, right? Kind of your God-given gifts. It's not your job. It's not necessarily your career, although your why can become your career, but it's not your job that I'm talking about. This is that sole purpose that you're here for. So you know what your why is. My why, I truly believe, is to teach people you do not have to die from disease. I don't care what your doctor tells you. You do not have to die from illness, especially, and my focus is autoimmune conditions, specifically because I was diagnosed with lupus and a bunch of other stuff, right? And my doctor told me you're going to die from this stuff because there's no cure. But I could have said, okay, just give me all the pills, pass all the pills, and I could have gone home and I could have done the, feeling sorry for myself kind of deal, which in all transparency, I did. It didn't last long because all it took was looking out the window at my children that I kept giving an excuse to, that I can't do it because I'm in pain. I can't do it because I can't do it because that was the motivation to get deeper and to say, well, why can't I heal from lupus? My doctor is saying I can't, but I know me, right? I know what I am capable of doing. And that's when I got to the why not part that I actually started to see the transformation. So I want you to get to that. Whatever it is your why is, let's get you to the why not. Why is it that if you have not gotten past the this is your why, and you haven't gotten to where you're actually doing or pursuing the why aren't you there? Right? And there are several reasons why you may not be there. So for me, my why is teaching people. But my focus initially has been on women, right? Because women tend to be the ones who get diagnosed with lupus, but there are men in the community, and I know a few guys who have actually died from the illness, and I know one guy right now who is fighting and doing a very good job of it, and teaching others using fitness and that sort of thing. Hi, Kathleen. Good to see you. And he's teaching others how to use fitness to overcome illness. So there are people out there who are teaching, similar things to what I'm teaching. Um, but my focus now is not just on women, although it's the majority of women who are in my community. But it's my why is teaching people how to heal themselves from autoimmune conditions and how to live. If you're not dealing with an autoimmune condition, how to prevent yourself from actually getting there, right? Because autoimmune conditions seem to be on the rise. And I don't know, last week, I think there were two people who are in my close circle who just found out that, who just got diagnosed with lupus, right? And it just seems like it's one of those kind of catch-all diagnoses when they don't know what exactly is wrong with you. But that's a whole other discussion. So the thing is, my why came about because of something that I was dealing with. So I wanted to teach others based on my transformation that it can be done, right? It is possible to heal from autoimmune conditions. It is possible to heal from lupus, uh, regardless of what your doctors have been telling you. Now, I know every lupus patient is different. Every lupus patient has their own symptoms. I understand that part, but it is possible to heal no matter how. And let me say this, during the time that I was diagnosed and leading up to the time that I was diagnosed, and even afterwards, I've had 3 near-death experiences, which basically means that my heart stopped on the operating table, right? That's literally what that means. You had the zip line going straight across. So I was able to come back from all of that and all of the different diagnoses that I received to be able to tell you that it is possible. My doctors didn't think I was going to make it past 45, and I'm now 52 years old. So 7 years, I think that's a fairly long time to say that I did something right, you know. So why not? If you're in that boat where doctors are telling you you can't heal, you can't overcome this, it's incurable, blah 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 blah, blah, whatever the case is, this might be the time you look at your doctor and say, you know what? Why not? Why can't I heal? Why do you have so little faith? And keep in mind, doctors aren't taught, they practice medicine. We have to forgive them. They do practice medicine. Um, so you have to get to a place where you start to say, why not? Yes, I have this condition, but why can't I heal? Watch me. That was my kind of fill in for the words why not was watch me. So okay, so that's where I want you to get to. That's the place I want you to get to. And it's not just the illness I'm talking about. It could be your goals, whatever, some huge dreams that you may have, right? So let me get back on, kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. So once you can ask the why, you can't really get anywhere unless you ask the why not. So I knew what my why was. I wanted to heal people because I was there. I was in that place of illness several years ago. But the why not part, if I had stopped, well, that is what I want to do, and I sat and actually wrote it out and did all of the things, but I sat on it and sat on it and sat on it, nothing would have happened. I mean, nothing that I've accomplished would have taken place if I didn't approach the why not, right? And by that I mean, let's clarify a little bit. When I first said I want to heal naturally from this illness, I started looking around for groups to join, and I really didn't find any. So the thought was, well, if I want a group that's, where people are talking about healing naturally, then I need, if I'm not finding it, I just have to create one. Why not? Create the thing that I am looking for. So I did. I did. And then throughout that time, I started doing a lot of research into herbal stuff and said, well, I am here and I'm doing all of this studying, all of this researching into all of these different herbs and essential oils and all of this other stuff. And I said, you know what? Maybe I should just get certified. I mean, after all, I'm doing all of the studying. I might as well get a certificate to show I did something, right? And then it was like, well, can I really do that? I mean, at the time, still was going through a lot of symptoms, and even with all of the research, right? And I thought to myself, well, why not? Why not? I have the time, so why not just go ahead with all of the research and just take the course and get certified, right? So when you get to the why not part, that's when transformation really starts to occur. So you got your sense of purpose, which is your why, and the why not is actually your belief, right? It's the belief that you can do the thing that you're asking why not about. So why not create that whatever invention that you know is going to help whatever particular group of people? You're sitting on this great idea and you know it's a great idea, but you're kind of second guessing yourself. You're still not at the why not part. The why not is like, I got this great idea and I'm going to do it. Why? There's nobody else out there who's got this great idea. And even if they do have the same great idea, nobody else out there is going to be able to deliver it like I can or you can, right? Because nobody has your expertise, nobody has your experiences, nobody has your failures, nobody has your successes. Nobody is going to be able to do the thing like you can because you're unique. And why I said the why not part is your belief, because you can talk yourself out of anything. You might have these grand ideas, you can talk yourself out of anything. But once you can get parted, one of the things that I fought with is you're probably aware of this, it's called the imposter syndrome. And it's basically you see somebody out there, they have a similar message to yours, and you say, well, I'm not going to talk about that because these people out there are already talking about that, right? So why should I go ahead and talk about the same thing that they're talking about? But the thing is, even though what you're dealing with may seem similar to what they're dealing with, or what you're speaking may seem similar to what they're speaking, the way that you're teaching it is so different from what the other person is teaching. So that is where the why not comes in. Why not you? Nobody can deliver the message like you can because that other person is not you, right? So stop second guessing yourself. Stop believing in all of those self-limiting beliefs that you've heard over and over and over and have now become a part of you. Release all of those and jump into the why not me part, right? This is your dream, my dream. Why not? Let's do this. One person I wanted to remind you of, I had a note here. J.K. Rowling. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that name, especially if you're a fan of Harry Potter, right? So there are 3 why nots that I want you to ask yourself, and I'm going to use J.K. Rowling as the example. If you're not familiar with J.K. Rowling, she has sold more than 450 million copies of her Harry Potter series. And chances are you've seen probably more than once the Harry Potter, all of the Harry Potter movies, right? There's quite a few of them. Initially, J.K. Rowling was rejected, I don't know how many times. I should have looked that up, but it was a lot. I'm pretty sure it was probably 30 times, at least 30 times, that she was rejected by publishers that kept telling her, no, that storyline is just not going to work and nobody's going to be interested. And no, we're not going to publish your books. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We're not. And she kept hearing no over and over and over and over and over. And if If she had accepted that one no, none of us would be watching the Harry Potter series today. None of us would have been reading the Harry Potter books. But she knew what she had, and she did not let those no's keep her from accomplishing her dream, right? Because she kept asking herself, well, why not me? Why is it that I can't be a published author? Little did she know she was going to become one of the most famous published authors that there is, right? And all of her books would be turned into movies and all of this stuff. And I'm sure that a few of the publishers who turned her down are kicking themselves. But the idea is, why not? So the three why nots I want you to ask yourself is the why not me? You look at all of these other people out there, you have this grand idea that you want to bring to the world, and you know that it's your sole purpose, but the self-limiting beliefs and the self-doubting is keeping you from putting yourself out there. But why not you? Because even if you took that sole purpose that you've been given, you can't transfer it to someone else. You are here to deliver what it is that God put you on this planet for, and it is your duty to share that with the rest of the world. So why not you? So ask yourself that question, why not me? Right? So two other why not questions I want you to ask yourself. Why not this? Whatever that particular goal is that you have, whatever big idea that you have with an invention, a message, whatever it is, why not this? Because so many of you have great ideas, but you feel that they may not necessarily be fresh enough, right? So why bring it? The thing is, that particular message may be just what somebody else needs. Maybe it's a group of people, or maybe it's just one person, but that idea that you're supposed to deliver can only be delivered by you. And it doesn't matter if one person gets the message or a million people get the message, it has to be delivered by you. So ask yourself, why not this? Right? And if I had stopped at just getting the certifications and just healing myself, I would be okay, great. But as I sat down and throughout the whole journey, I was journaling, and I documented everything. I documented all of the different herbs that I was using that worked, all of the essential oil blends that I created over the years, all of the different what would I guess be considered like alternative remedies like sound therapy and crystal therapy and a lot of things that I worked with that worked for me. And if I had stopped at people are going to think that's kind of weird. People are not really going to be open to hearing about sound as a method of healing. I mean, who do I think I am to go out there and share this stuff with people? I mean, they're just going to laugh me off the stage or laugh, nobody's going to connect with me because everything I'm talking about is just kind of weird, right? They're going to say, well, meditation to heal your body? Well, we know that doesn't work. Or does it? Right? And if I had really allowed myself, if I had really allowed all of those thoughts to continue going through my head, I would not be singing in front of you. I remember the very first live video that I did. I think it was last year. And it was I think I'd just gotten certified as an art therapy life coach. And I've been doing art, gosh, for many, many years, right? But this one day I decided, you know what? It's time to share all of this stuff. And it took me a while. And as I came on and started the live stream to go through the very first art therapy lesson with the people who were watching, I seemed like I'd been doing this forever, but I was shaking. My knees were knocking. I was so nervous. And if I had allowed that to keep me back, I probably wouldn't be sitting in front of you today. And if I had allowed just all of those self-limiting beliefs and the self-doubt to really get me, I would not have been able to accomplish half of the stuff that I did over the last number of years, even while I was healing, right? So the why not this, right? And the thing is, as I shared these self-limiting beliefs and these self-doubts with people who are watching, I found out that these are the very things that a lot of them are requesting. Like, learning how to visualize your body being healed. Doctors don't teach you this sort of thing. And I actually just kind of happened upon it because I was sitting, I don't remember what I was doing. And I said, you know what? If I want my body to heal, I have to kind of tell my body, you need to heal. So I turned inward and I was literally able to visualize what was going on within my body and start to talk to my body and tell my body, listen, all of you cells that are kind of out of whack, I need you all to kind of pay attention to my voice right now and go back to the place where you're supposed to be and start to, you know, go back to a place of homeostasis, right? The healthy version of who I am. Now, I'm not telling you that this happened overnight. This took a while, but it was a continuous thing that I was doing in addition to a few other therapies that I was working with, right? And as I shared with other people, people were saying, oh my gosh, this is the kind of stuff that nobody talks about, right? This is the kind of stuff that we want to hear about. And here I was saying, well, I'm not going to go on and talk about that because people are just kind of laugh me off the stage, or they're just going to think I'm cuckoo and just. And the thing is, these were the type of things that people were really interested in, the non-traditional methods. Yes, everybody can pop a pill. Everybody can give you a prescription. All the doctors can give you these prescriptions. They can tell you all the herbs, all of the essential oils to work with, but there's so much more, because a lot of people don't realize illness is an energetic. It just means that there's energy blocked within the body. It's all energy. Everything is energy, including illness. And that's for a whole other discussion. And some of you probably read, oh, really? But everything is energy, including illness. It's just blocked energy. And once we realize that, then we can really focus on healing our bodies. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot more. There's a lot to healing. But once people realize that healing can be done and that everything is energy, we can really start to, what's the word? Really start to put our bodies back into a place of health, like complete health. And we're talking about this, spiritual health, emotional health, mentally and physically, because a lot of us tend to work on the physical part of healing without realizing, oh, there's all of these other parts of us as well, because we are spiritual beings as well. And we can't forget the spiritual health while we're focusing on the physical health. And you cannot forget the emotional health while you're focusing on the spiritual health. It's all connected. So when I started to teach from all of these different aspects, then things started to really click and people were like, this is what we're looking for. This is what's missing when it comes to healing. So for me, that was, well, why not me? Why can't I be the person to talk about this stuff? After all, I have done it. So why not me? And why not this? Why not talk about this stuff? Because people are needing to hear about this, right? So the third why not is why not now? You have this grand idea, right? Great idea. But you're thinking, well, maybe now is not the time to be putting it out on the market. I mean, with everything that is going on in this world today, this is probably not the right time. The thing is there really a right time for you to share your message? Is there really a right time for you to create that invention and get that out there for people to make their lives easier? Is there really a right time? No. The thing is, just do it. Create it, share it. There's no right time, there's no wrong time, right? The idea is, why not just get started and do it now? Don't wait for things to be perfect, because that's another thing. I was waiting years ago. I was waiting till I got all of the stuff together, and I wanted everything to be perfect because I wanted to come on, and I didn't, I wanted to speak properly, and I didn't want to make any mistakes, and I didn't want people to know that I'm actually looking at notes down here because because I wanted things to just kind of flow. And I'll tell you that nothing worked like that. Nothing. I had my notes and I had the images of things I had created, And the thing was, I did it. I got on and I said, listen, it's my first live stream. Just be nice. But I'm here to share something with you that I know a lot of people are probably needing during this time, right? Just a way of coping with the whole pandemic that was going on, that was just getting started actually. And I mean, it's still going on. And art is one of those ways of really helping to deal with, whether it's a pandemic or you just have a little bit of stress going on in your life. Art is just one of those ways of helping to deal with it. So when I came on and I shared that, I mean, I did that for 30 days. And I had a lot of people that actually came on and thought, why was I finding this so hard to do? Nobody criticized me. Nobody complained that I was going too fast or I wasn't using the proper language, or you have an accent and I don't really understand what you're saying. No, nobody criticized in any way. They were just so grateful that the opportunity was there for them to come on and just do something creative to kind of take their mind off of whatever they needed to take their mind off of for those 20 or 30 minutes in a day, right? So the thing is, why just do it now? Don't wait for things to be perfect. Don't wait for like the stars to align or whatever it is that you're waiting for. You have it, just do it. So why not me? Why not this, whatever your grand idea is, and why not now? Don't wait for things to be perfect. Get it going now. So if you truly believe in what your why is, there's no right time. Just get started, right? Just get started. So the other question is, why not you? I said there were 3 why nots, but there's actually 4. So why not you? You're probably thinking, well, that person over there, they have the same idea. I'm going to wait for them to do it. But like I said, they're probably sitting over there thinking, well, that person has the same idea as I do. They're probably going to deliver it better. So I'm going to wait for them to get started. And both of you are going to sit there and you're going to wait and you're going to wait. And neither one of you are going to do anything about it, right? So why not you? Just do it. Because like I said, nobody can deliver your message like you can. There's only one of you. And even if a million people has the same brilliant idea that you have, only you can deliver that brilliant idea like you can. All right. So as per usual, with all of these Making Mondays Matter episodes, there's some action steps. And there are 3 different levels. And again, if you're watching and you haven't, if you're sharing questions, I can only see, I think right now I'm seeing the YouTube feed. If you're watching from Facebook, you can simply just give StreamYard permission at the link that I shared, and I'll be able to see your comments. Or you can just sit back and listen, right? This is going to be available for replay if you're coming on late, so you can always go back and watch the replay. But I love conversation, so if you have a question, go ahead and post it. What I'm going to do is I will go back into the Facebook feed later and see if there are any questions there, and I will respond to those. But let's get to the action steps, right? So there's always 3, the low, the medium, and the high. So in the low one, I want you to state something that you wish could happen, and then I want you to turn it into a why not statement, right? So for example, I wish everyone had enough to eat, right? There's your why. So let's say there's a lot of, why doesn't everybody have enough to eat, right? So that question could become, why not end hunger? And become that person that maybe you create like a nonprofit organization, or maybe that nonprofit has kind of like a food bank where people can come, or a soup kitchen where people can come and have meals. And um, maybe you work with different restaurants at the end of the day where you can collect a lot of the different foods that haven't been, because a lot of restaurants end up dumping a lot of food at the end of the night, even grocery stores. So if you have this idea, you could work with restaurants, you could work with grocery stores, collect all of the food that would typically go to waste, and create an organization where you have like a maybe a soup kitchen or a food bank or something, and you have people come and who are in need, and and they can collect, or they can just come there and have a meal once a day, twice a day, whatever the case is. So you have that why, we kind of, why are so many people hungry? And then, well, why not end hunger? And so that's just an example. Your why could be completely different. Whatever it is, try to turn that into like a why not statement and go through everything that I mentioned earlier. Go back and watch the replay, and then you can have your mind kind of working. Try to get rid of all of those self-limiting beliefs, those self-doubts, and see where that can take you. Okay, so that's your low. That's the low one. Medium is just to think about something that you feel is beyond your reach. Maybe there's some issue at work that you think kind of beyond your reach. Everybody's trying to come up with a solution, and nobody can really come up with one because they think it's too challenging, it's too hard to solve. And so maybe think about that and see if you can't turn that into like a why not. Why is it that we can't come up with this response and or a solution to this particular issue, and really put your minds around it. Maybe get a group of people and say, okay, here's the question. Okay, why is this happening? Then, well, why can't we come up with a solution? And we have those questions going around in your mind, and see if you can't come up with the why not statement. Why not me? Why am I not the one to solve this? Why not this particular solution? Why not now? And the last one was the why not you? Why aren't you the one that's going to be able to do this, right? So that's kind of and whatever it is, it could be something at work, it could be a personal goal of yours. So let's say you have a goal to run a marathon. That was one of my dreams years back, and it's not completely off of my bucket list. I've done a half a marathon. I've never done the marathon. So that it's still on the bucket list, but I haven't really put a full effort into training for it. So let's just say maybe you want to run a marathon. So, and maybe that's the goal maybe there's a team at your work that want to run a marathon. So let's see, why do you want to run a marathon? Maybe it's to support something that's, maybe there's a coworker, someone that's sick, very, very sick, and you want to do like a fundraiser. And you're thinking, well, a marathon? Gosh, the most running I've done is in my sleep. And you're thinking, well, why not? If I get up every single morning and I go for a half a mile walk for the first week, and then for the second week, maybe I can do a 1 mile run, slow jog, and then maybe the following month, I can develop that into maybe a 2 mile walk run, and you continuously build up and build up and build up, right? So you have your why, the why not. You set all of these little action steps, and it's after a while you begin to think, why not? I can actually do this marathon. Why not me? Everybody else out there, they're doing their thing. Why not me? I want to run this marathon. Why not? Right? So you set these little action steps, and after a while, whether it be 6 months or a year, you find yourself out there registering for your marathon, or you find yourself out there opening the doors to your business. Whatever that why is that leads you up to your why not, right? So that is the medium. Now the high, and I think the medium, that was actually could have been a high one too, but your high level is to host a why not party for a bunch of friends or family members, whatever the case is, but host a why not party. So you're going to have each one share a dream or a goal that they've always wanted to accomplish. And after each person shares, you're going to start asking the question, why not? So these will have to be goals that they have not yet achieved. They have these big grand ideas, but they have not necessarily accomplished them yet, right? So they're going to go through and share all of your grand dreams. And then at the end, ask, why not? And ask each person, why not? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done this? Why not? Why not? Why not? Right? And after everybody has come up with all of the excuses in the book as to why they haven't accomplished it, you've exhausted all of the excuses and you realize that they really weren't excuses. I mean, they were just excuses. And these goals or these dreams are not out of reach. Then you set yourself to go on and accomplish the goal. Because once you realize that these are all just excuses and you start to ask yourself the why not question, you begin to realize that there is not anything that you cannot accomplish. So that is today. Go back and you can watch the replay. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and share. If you have, based on the last few episodes that I've done, I've had quite a few people that actually have reached out to me via, I think it's like Facebook Messenger. That seems to be the most common one, as well as I've got a couple who reach out to me on YouTube as well. If you have any kind of questions or you're just curious about what it is that I do or how I can help you, feel free to send me a message. If you go to the Lupus page, I refer to it as the Lupus page, but it is no longer a Lupus page. It's actually Gina Wells, complementary therapist practitioner and transformation ambassador. The name on that particular page has been changed. The message is no different than what I've been teaching you before, though. Okay, it's just the focus is not just on lupus or healing from lupus or healing from autoimmunity. The focus is on transformation. The focus is on healing and preventing illness and allowing you to, letting you know that it is possible to heal from illness and still go on and live a fabulous life, regardless of what doctors are telling you, and teaching you how to do that mindset shift from I'm always going to have this illness to this illness is not going to get the better of me. I am going to heal and I'm going to go on to live a full and prosperous and abundant life. So the message is the same. It's just I did a little bit of tweaking in the wording and the title of the page has changed. So if you have any questions, you can simply go onto that page and I do believe there's a button that says either book now or contact me or something like that. You can simply either book 30 minutes with me completely free, or you can send me a message saying, I've got this thing going on. Can we talk for a few minutes? And I will put you down and we can, I will set up a time for us to chat. All right. I'm here to tell you that you can heal. I'm here to tell you also it's hard work. If you are in a place where I was years ago and you can go back, nothing in my lupus journey or the autoimmunity journey that I've been on was secret. I've written articles since day one. I've posted pictures in a lot of these articles of what I used to look like, when I was going through flare-ups and all of those things. And when I look back on them now, it's like, wow, what a transformation. You're free to go and look up those articles. All you got to do is just type in my name and a bunch of the articles will come up. You'll find them on the Hub Pages platform and a few other platforms also owned by Hub Pages. But I didn't keep any of that stuff secret. There's a lot of free information out there. In articles that I've written, a lot of them are also published on on my page, the Lupus page, where you can find a lot of free information. But if you want to go a lot deeper than just, what you find there, please feel free to just send me a message, or send me a text message, send me a Facebook message. You can reach me on Instagram, by email, whatever the case is, and then we can talk a little bit further. You can heal. That's what I'm here to tell you. You can heal. It is possible to heal from autoimmunity, chronic illness, whatever the case might be. All right. So thank you for being here today. It's remember at the beginning I said I started out being just feeling so unprepared. But the thing is, one of the messages I always teach is you need to just do it. Just get started. You know, just get started. I know a lot of the thank you, Kathleen. Kathleen says always an encouragement to me. Thank you. I'm really glad that these little chit chats help. I know I don't necessarily come across with the, I don't like to come on here and just act all stuffy and stuff. It's just I tell you like it is, right? I tell you the journey I've been on and I'm still on, and I'm here to tell you that you can heal. It hasn't been easy. It is not an easy journey, right? It's not easy to tell somebody, listen, that food you've been eating, yeah, we kind of have to change things around a bit, and let's look at your eating habits, fix this, blah blah. It's not easy to tell somebody that particular thing that you've been doing all of your life, that's kind of maybe what's been making you sick all this time. It's not easy to say to someone, that particular trauma that you went through when you were 5 is probably causing the illness that you're suffering from right now, and we need to do a little bit of spiritual healing and energetic healing and that sort of thing. It's because not too many people look at illness as being energetic. Not too many people look at trauma as contributing to a lot of physical illness later on. A lot of people think, oh, you have this physical illness, then it must be something that you've eaten. And a lot of the times it's not. You could have the best eating habits and you still end up with some kind of autoimmune condition, because trauma, whether it happened 5 days ago, 5 years ago, 5 decades ago, if it hasn't been healed from, it's going to contribute to illness later on. So these are a lot of things that are addressed. So when I say that the journey has not been easy, it is not an easy journey, and I'm still on that journey because there's still some things that I address on a daily basis. So from the past traumas, from the food. I'm not a perfect eater. I think I shocked some people when I tell them that I occasionally have a bag of chips, because they thought that I was like a um, raw vegan. Um, so they were kind of shocked when they saw that I actually cooked a lot of food, and that I ate the occasional bag of. And I don't really care for potato chips, but I love tortilla chips. So it would be like, oh my gosh, you're not perfect. No, I am not perfect by a long shot. I am not a raw vegan, and I don't think I could ever be a raw vegan. I think I did it for one day, and I realized just how difficult that was. I am vegan, but I don't think I could do everything raw for the rest of my life. Hats off to you if that is who you are. I applaud you. I admire you. But for me, it's so I'm here to tell you I am not perfect. But I'm here to tell you that I've healed myself and you can do it. Now I'm not going to tell you, listen, you have to throw away all that one vice that you have, that bag of potato chips that you eat maybe once once a day, every single day. I'm not going to tell you to do that unless that is the one thing that is actually making you sick. And then in which case I would say, listen, there are some alternatives to the potato chips. Let's find an alternative, which I end up doing a lot. Okay. So, but the idea is that I am here to tell you you can heal. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end. If you do have any questions, comments, you're just curious, send me a message and we'll talk from there. And thank you again for spending this time with me. I will be back. And oh, I am working on a couple things. I got a request last week. I did say I was going to end, but just give me a couple more minutes. I did get a request last week about meditation, and I am working on some things. There's been a meditation that I did during the time that I was actually healing myself, and it's a visualization kind of meditation. So I'm working on that, and I think I'm going to do it on a Thursday. Um, so this coming Thursday, I'm putting myself out there, and I'm actually recording this so I can, you can say, but Gina, you said this past Monday that this Thursday we're going to do meditation. So you can call me out on it. So this coming Thursday, we're going to start off with a meditation. It's going to be, I want to say maybe 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to throw in a little bit of sound therapy, but this is a meditation that I've done for quite a while. It is not perfect by a long shot. It's just something that I've done, and I'm going to share it with you. And I'm sure that it will bless you. And once you've learned it, because it's going to be recorded, then you can go back and you can do this over and over and over again. Because even though you do it once, you're going to want to do this as much as you possibly can. Because the more you do this, the more you actually um, correspond with your body, learn about your body. And when I say correspond, I mean literally talk to your body. Your body listens. Your body does listen to you. And the more you tell your body that you want to heal, that it needs to heal, your body will eventually listen. So when you speak life to your body and life to other people, life is what you get. But if you're speaking death, and in the Bible it says that life and death is in the power of the tongue, it is true. Even your thoughts. I say speaking with the tongue, but even your thoughts. When you think what you think, you become. So if you think health, you're going to become healthy, no matter how sick you are. It might not happen overnight, might not happen in a week, but you will eventually become healthy because you're constantly feeding that into your body, because your body listens. Your body listens. That's why if you have something traumatic that happens to you, your body holds on to it until you heal it and you let it go, because your body is listening. Your body pays attention. Your body really does listen. So the meditation that I'm going to do with you is probably going to take 20 to 30 minutes. There will be a little sound therapy along with it. So I'll bring my singing bowl and maybe a rain stick or a few other things, and I will guide you through that. All right. We're going to start with your feet, and we're going to work all the way up to the top of your head, and you're going to just visualize healing in your entire body. It's also going to be a gratitude meditation. That's why I'm doing it on Thursday. It's because I'm going to call it Gratitude Thursday, but it's a meditation that involves gratitude, and some parts of it may be a little bit painful because it is going to involve some forgiveness. But I know that if you do this meditation over and over and over, even if you consider yourself to be healthy, this will you're going to feel so much better, because then you're probably going to realize, oh my gosh, there's some things that have come up that I never even really thought about. So Thursday, meet me back here. I will post the link, and that way I will try to have it around between 2 and 3. And then if you want to do it again later on that night, you can watch the replay before you go to bed, or you can watch it however many times you want and whenever you want. It's not designated for morning or afternoon or evening, but I will come on. Rosanna says, great, looking forward to the meditation. Um, she's really excited. Let's just say that. So yes, I've been going through and thinking about, well, what can I do this meditation on? And then I realized, well, I have this one that I've been, working on for many years. So I'll go ahead and I will share that one with you. All right. So Thursday, I'm going to say 2 o'clock right now, but you will see the link whenever I share that. And we will be here for meditation, right? And a little sound therapy too. All right. So thank you again. I know I said I was going to go. Thank you so much again for being here with me. And I will see you all on Thursday. Love you guys.